Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, ministers and officials, for your service to our great country. Minister McKinnon, Canadians are dying on the roads, and it seems that you're spending more time keeping your government safe than Canadians safe on the roads. What do you say to that criticism?
I haven't heard that criticism.
You just did.
Okay, well, what I can tell you is that I am a full-time Minister of Transportation. I spend an inordinate amount of time worrying about rail safety, road safety, air safety, and the multitude of issues, infrastructure issues, other issues. This issue on which I was proud to collaborate with my colleague Ms. Hajdu, with the labor program, with whom where I have a special acquaintance, and I was able to help orchestrate some of the improvements last spring that you saw in this issue. So a lot going on, Mr. Albus, and we look forward to more.
Actions speak louder than words, and the old saying is, if you don't have time, you give money. So what investments in road safety will be in the budget? And if you can't give concrete examples today, will you at least commit to putting a firewall around any cuts that you need to make to any safety program under your portfolio?
Well, I can assure you there'll be no compromise on safety ever. And I can tell you that I can point you to the $77 million that will be in the budget. Won't be in the budget if it does not pass, unfortunately, but will be in the budget that will make this vast improvement, we think, to the trucking regime in the country.
There's that House Leader role again. Minister, National Safety Code 16, the requirements for a Class 1 driver's license for extra-provincial driving right now is a recommendation. We have a patchwork system in this country with varying standards. Why is it not a law for extra-provincial? That's an area under your direct responsibility, sir.
We have a collaborative system in this country in terms of transportation. Some parts of it are exclusively provincial. In fact, you could argue that the heavy half of regulation of trucking is found at the provincial level. Certainly enforcement is found at the provincial level. And where we collaborate is nationally. So it's not necessarily, in many cases, a federal system, but a national system through the CCTMA or others where we collaborate and establish standards. And in all events,
this needs to be a collaborative. A safety fitness certificate is set by you as the Minister of Transport through the Motor Vehicle Transportation Act. I hope you take this suggestion seriously. I'm going to pass on my time to Mr. Groleau, please. Thank you.
Monsieur le Président, chers invités, Monsieur le Ministre McKinnon.
The people in Canada and my riding are very concerned about all the accidents that we see every week. We have untrained drivers who are endangering the lives of the public. What concrete measures have you taken since you've been Minister of Transport? Well, we've just tabled some. You saw the announcement made by François Philippe Champagne together with Minister Hajdu. We are attacking this full-on, and we are dealing with Truckers Inc. We have been dealing with this issue for a long time. Thank you for your answer, but now I have a question for the Minister of Transport and not the Minister of Finance. Do you think the federal government has any responsibility with respect to highway security? Absolutely. We do this through standards, through working with the provinces, through our federal legislation. We deal with highway safety as we do with other modes of transport. If you believe that the federal government has responsibility, everyone has seen, and you've seen the CBC Marketplace episode on Drivers Inc., where people get their permit after 40 hours of training. That's a problem. That's a problem for SAC, I believe. Certifying drivers, that comes under provincial jurisdiction, particularly when you're dealing with interprovincial trade, whether it be at the level of the police force or with certification of drivers. This is I don't want to cut you off, but I don't have much time. I apologize. Why does the Liberal government encourage these practices? A federal agency gave contracts to Driver Inc. How could you approve that? I'm not aware that Canada Post, which is an independent agency, has done this. It would surprise me. They have unionized employees that are currently in bargaining mode, and if this has happened, we will take a look at it. But this would really surprise me. This was confirmed. Are you going to intervene? If I'm going to intervene? Well, we just talked about the model that we have set up. You're talking as a Minister of Finance. I'm talking about safety. Yes, we want to save people's lives, and we do so every day. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.